What up, guys? I finally got my thicker spring for this Tippmann A5. I can also use the same spring in my 50 caliber Tippmann Cronus, which is kind of on the back burner right now. I'm sourcing parts. I'm probably going to switch a valve and a bolt in there in the Tippmann Cronus 50 cal. But I finally got the spring and for the A5, and I got two of these for like $15 off Amazon. I think they came from China. They definitely took like a while to get here, and it was like $15 for a 1 millimeter gauge thickness by 5 millimeter spring and outside diameter, and then the total length was like 300 and something millimeters, basically like almost a foot long. So I measured it, cut it. I think I cut this to like just a little over 4.5 inches. The longest one in my paintball kit was like 4 3/8 of an inch. Millimeters is probably like 110, 112 or something like that. So this is about 125, 126 millimeters long. It's gonna get compressed as I use it. So right now I have my stock A5 spring in here and an HPA tank. I was going to use CO2, but it's not that warm out here, and I feel like my numbers won't be that great with the CO2 right now because it's like 60 degrees out here, like 58 degrees. It's not that warm. So I just want to get some base readings and then switch out the spring and see what this thick boy does. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm going to be using 3.6 gram nylon balls. I have a TCR barrel on this. It's like 11 inches. It has those bird cage flutes on the end, and light tinned valve spring in this, which is from this kit. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I've done to this. So this is the stock spring. When I used CO2 and it was a warm day, it was getting like 18 joules or like 17 joules, which is pretty good for just all stock. I forgot what barrel I was using. I think I was using the TCR barrel when I was doing that. So far, the TCR barrel has been the best performer as far as getting joules and stuff with this launcher paintball marker. So here we go. 284. I wasn't expecting this to be that high, but 304, 314, 306, 312, 306. So I'm going to switch out the spring. 314 was the highest I think I saw, but this will definitely be hitting much harder when I have it on a CO2 tank. So I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, super thick spring in here. See what this does. $362, so that's pretty damn high. $352, $362. The only thing I'm worried about is if the internals start to break down fast because it's so much force. $326, $358, $358. So I'm just assuming if I have CO2 on this with that big spring, and if the spring doesn't weaken or get super weak and stuff after a while, I'm gonna assume CO2 on a warm day that might be hitting. It's usually like a 50 FPS bump usually. So I'm gonna think it's gonna hit like 412 possibly, and I'm just using my check valve slide check. So that's pretty good. 50 FPS bump versus my stock spring, and this was at 2,000 Now it's at about 1600. So yeah, I'll have to try this again once it gets warmer, and I'm gonna take that spring out. It wasn't too hard to pull the charge handle back. It was a little bit hard to pull the charge handle back, but not too hard. But the one of the things I'm concerned about is these pins weakening this rear cap. I did buy an extra rear cap a while ago due to the force that hits up against this. So I'll take this out. And right now it's not really that tense, but whenever that has tension on it, you can see the back kind of wanting to pull itself out. I'll show it right now. So this is the rear cap, and it's not charged right now. Like, I haven't pulled the charge lever back. So this is what it looks like right now. I'm gonna pull the charge lever back and show you. So it's pulled back now. My previous buttstock that came with this is a used A5. My buttstock that came with this, you know, with the extension thing, it ended up cracking where these pins meet up with this plastic. So I feel like that's a weak point on this thing. I have seen a couple stocks that are supposedly made out of all metal. So at some point in the future, I'll probably get one of those. But for now, this is holding up, and I do have a spare rear bump cap, and the bump cap is like $8 or something. It's not that expensive to get a new part. I think the stock I was looking at was like $40 from MCS. So yeah, anyways, it's a pretty good increase in speed with just changing out the spring, and I didn't even put CO2 in there, but it wouldn't be a good day to use CO2 today because it's cold. So anyways, you guys have a good one. I'll see you next time. Forgot to show, so this is the new spring. This is just the extra length, but when I cut this, the thicker spring on the bottom, it was longer than this top one. So I'm gonna remeasure this and see how long it is. It used to be like a little bit over 4.5 inches. So I'm just in those like 8 shots, it shrank because of this being compressed and weakening. So this was the stock spring. I think when I measured the gauge, it's like 0.7 millimeters. Could be 0.8, but this is 1.0 millimeter wire gauge. I'll be right back. All right, so this spring, before I fired any shots out of it, it went to about here, like 4 9/16. Yeah, so it shrank almost a little bit less than half an inch, or a little bit more than half an inch. It shrank a little bit more than half an inch in just those like eight shots or whatever that I shot with it, or like 5 shots. So yeah, that's just springs don't last forever, and that was really short. So I'll see how this thing pans out. The highest I've ever got this to hit, I was using CO2. I had this heavy spring from this paintball kit with 2 shims on the back of the bolt. There's like a little it's called a bolt plug, and I put 2 BBs in there to shim the spring because the BBs will fit in there. Let me get this really quick. All right, so inside the A5 right there, it's charged right now. That's why that bolt is back so far. But inside that bolt, there's this piece, and the spring fits in there like that. So with this paintball kit, the heavy spring in here, it's a tightly wound coil. It's thicker than the other springs, but it's kind of short. So I put 2 BBs in here as a shim to have like tension already on the spring, and then this spring guide fits in this cap, and this is where the pins go through. This is an all plastic piece, so that's why I'm a little bit concerned with the durability of this cap. I haven't seen just the cap made in all metal. I think it's just plastic because these are not intended to be, you know, hitting super damn hard like this. But But the highest I ever got to hit was with this setup, with this heavy spring in the paintball kit and 2 shims in the bolt plug, and running on CO2, running on one of the 20-ounce CO2 tanks on a warm day. I'm able to get it to hit about 27, almost 28 joules. I think 27 is pretty much where it maxes out in my current state. I haven't tried this yet on a warm day with CO2, so that'll be a later video. It's been kind of cold out here. I might have a warm day in a couple days, and then I'll definitely try it if it's like above 70. But until then, we'll just have to wait for the weather to turn better. So see you guys next time.